Welcome back. If you can hear that, can you hear that strumming?
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah. There he is, Jose Feliciano. Has been blind since birth. At the age of 9, though, he taught himself guitar by listening to old records. 60 years on, he's known by many as one of the best acoustic guitarists on the planet.
Yes, nicknamed the 10-fingered wizard, he's sold over 11 million records and won 8 Grammys in a career spanning nearly 50 years. Jose is back in this country for a short period of time to perform 3 concerts at the Jazz Cafe in London. We are honoured to have him here on the sofa. Very good morning to you. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm fine. I'm doing very well. It's nice to be with all of you.
Are you're going to play for us as well a little bit?
I am.
Do you need to tune up, or you probably...
No, I'm in tune. I tuned up already. I did a Chinese song called Tuning.
You tell jokes as well as play songs.
I try to. You know, being blind, you have to have a sense of humor. I remember when I was a kid and I was walking on the street, somebody would bump into me and they'd say, "What's the matter, you're blind or something?" I'd say, "Yeah, what's your excuse?"
And you were born blind with glaucoma, is that right?
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico.
I was born in Puerto Rico, that's correct. That's correct. But I don't think of my situation as a disability. Like a lot of people, you know, think, oh, well, you know, you have a disability. I think mental retardation is a disability. But, or let's say if you are incapacitated physically, that's a disability. But being blind is not a disability. You know, you go and you realize that you have to live in a sighted society. And, of course, you adapt to whatever situation you're in. And, of course, my love was always music. I started getting into music at the age of 3. And, well, God has been great to me.
Did you teach yourself, or how did you learn to play guitar?
I taught myself from the age of 9 till about the age of 16. And then I started listening to classical guitarists like Andre Segovia, John Williams, Julian Bream. By the way, somebody told me that Julian Bream has been depressed or whatever, and I don't know if Julian or any of his family relatives are watching, but Julian, keep on playing the guitar and your depression will disappear. Aww. That's what you have to do, because he's such a great guitarist, Julian, and of course John Williams is legendary as well, and those were my heroes.
Now, we're going to get you to play in a second, Jose. We're just going to bring a footstool in for you. It's just, Nikki's just putting it under your left foot there
Is that
for you. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Is that right?
Perfect.
Excellent, Nikki, thanks very much. So you're going to play us first an example of your newest material.
Right.
So this one is...
It's called, this is my version of Fire and Rain.
Okay.
Okay, it goes like this. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. Well, I woke up this morning and I wrote down the song. I just can't remember who to send it to. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. There were many times when I could not find a friend, yeah, but I always thought I'd see you again. Well, won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. You've just got to see me through just one more day. My body's aching and my time is at hand, and I can't make it any other way. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. There were many times when I could not find a friend, yeah, but I always thought I'd see you again. There's just a few things coming my way this time around, yeah, fire and rain.
Thank you.
Superb. Thank you very much indeed. And a lot of sunshine in that Fire and Rain there.
Well, you know, I like to take other people's material, though, even though in the last few years I'm writing a lot of my own material. But what I like about this album that I did, I covered a few songs from a few artists that I like. For example, I did a version of 60 Years On, which is an Elton John song. And I remember in the early years, people used to say that Elton sounded a little bit like me. So I thought to myself, well, let me sound like me and do 60 Years On.
Which is it's a sort of sad, solemn song, isn't it, 60 Years On?
60 Years On it is. I think it was one of Elton John's best with Bernie Taupin. It was actually from his first album. And I wanted to do it because I'm an Elton John fan, always have been, always will be. And I just, and I love Fire and Rain because I'm a fan of James Taylor. And, you know, I used to do a lot of Beatle material because I love the Beatles. So, and then I decided to start writing. And of course, I've written on this album, one of my songs is on there called Believe Me When I Tell You.
Wonderful.
And you're going to play us a later Light My Fire, which is one of your most famous covers. And which one, you perform with some amazing artists as well. Is that your favourite performance, or is that a difficult one to answer?
No, well, you know, it's a funny thing because when I was recording the album From Where It Came, which is Feliciano, my producer said to me, because he had seen me perform Light My Fire by myself, and he said, why don't you do Light My Fire? And we debated, because we got along so well, we never argued, we would debate. And I said, well, you know, I don't think I should do that song because it was a hit last year in 1967 by The Doors. What's the point? And he said, you know what, we got a little time left, and I like your performance of it, do it. And at the time, I was playing with one of the most incredible bass players on the planet, Ray Brown, who's no longer with us. And I had Milt Holland, who sort of played congas on it. So we gave Light My Fire that Latin feel. Then the producer, Rick Gerard, then arranged strings, and we had a flute player named Jim Horn who played on it. And that was how that sound was developed.
It's gone down in legend,
And we will hear that in just a second. Just one more question, though, before we get to that. When you first came to Britain, back in the 60s, you had slight problems getting in. No complications this time?
Well, no. At the time, my complication was that I had a guide dog. And I don't know if guide dogs were a big thing in it started in 1967 when I came to England as a tourist. And then I met a lot of people, a lot of great people. I worked with Tom Springfield. I worked with his sister Dusty. And they were two wonderful friends. I haven't seen Tom in over 30 years. Maybe if he's watching the show, it might bring him out to come to see me.
All right.
But I really enjoyed working with him. And sometimes I'm sorry if I talk too much.
No, not at all.
We like to hear you
We have to
play,
wrap it up. We're out of time because we wanted to get time for you to play. Jose, thank you very much. You can see Jose perform his magic at the Jazz Cafe in Camden from the 18th, which is today. Is that right? Until the 20th. So
until Saturday.
Until Saturday.
That's
Okay,
correct.
that's it for today's programme. In tomorrow's programme, we have got Val Fiennes, who'll be playing Prospero in Trevor Nunn's production at the Tempest in the Haymarket.
And Tracy Bennett, who's starring in the West End production of The End of the Rainbow. Right now, though.
A real treat. You're going to play us out, aren't you? Thank you, Jose.
Thank you.
Would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, yeah, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire.